Just 1 week after the season opener in Bahrain, the F1 world now turns its attention to the Saudi Arabian GP, set to unfold this Saturday. Each of the 10 teams has brought updates to their 2024 contenders, fine-tuning their machines for the high-speed demands of the Jeddah Corniche circuit. Red Bull, fresh from their dominant performance in Bahrain where they grabbed up pole position, the fastest lap and a 1-2 finish, is rolling into Jeddah with some strategic tweaks to their RB20. The most notable for the Milton Keynes outfit is their engine cover, redesigned for reduced drag and specifically tailored to suit the faster Jeddah track. This adjustment slightly lowers the cooling efficiency, but the design cleverly incorporates a smaller bodywork panel around a suspension opening which previously doubled as a cooling vent. The rationale is that the elevated speeds at Jeddah allow for a smaller cooling exit without pushing the power unit temperatures beyond their operational threshold. Additionally, Red Bull is introducing a lower camber rear wing assembly for this race. This setup is engineered to carry less aerodynamic load at any given speed, effectively cutting down on drag compared to the configuration used in Bahrain. Complementing this is a slimmed-down beam wing, also designed with the aim of minimizing drag. Red Bull's closest competitor so far, Ferrari, wasn't really able to put their best foot forward in Bahrain. Leclerc suffered from brake issues for pretty much throughout the race. Sainz, on the other hand, put in a respectable performance but still couldn't chase down the 2 RB20s. However, there's a hopeful vibe that Jeddah might play to the Maranello team's strengths. For this race, Ferrari has introduced a few tweaks where they've opted for a lower downforce rear wing, a carryover from the 2023 model, designed for circuits where minimizing drag is crucial. The D-powered wing profiles are crafted for high-speed tracks needing less downforce. They've also modified the lower beam wing, presenting 2 versions, including a simpler single-element design, all aimed at enhancing the car's aerodynamic efficiency for Jeddah's fast layout. Mercedes has kept it straightforward for Jeddah, bringing just a single update to their W15 from what we saw in Bahrain. They've focused on refining the aerodynamics around the rear corners of the car. By adjusting the angle of the lower deflectors, they're aiming to ease the load on the forward elements. This tweak is designed to enhance the stability of the lower deflector across various ride heights, optimizing the car's performance for the high-speed demands of the Jeddah circuit. McLaren is a team that everyone in the paddock will be excited for this weekend. The fast pace of the Jeddah street circuit has historically played to the team's strengths. For this year's setup, they've opted for a lower drag rear wing. This adjustment sees a lighter mainplane and flap, aiming to cut down both downforce and drag to suit the circuit's demands. Additionally, they've introduced modifications to the beam wing, incorporating new upper and lower elements. These changes, in conjunction with the updated rear wing assembly, contribute to a more streamlined profile by efficiently reducing drag and downforce. Aston Martin might face additional challenges in Jeddah, particularly due to the AMR24's struggle with high fuel loads and a shortfall in aerodynamic load. For the Saudi Arabian GP, they've opted for a low downforce rear wing featuring a less intricate cascade design and offering 2 flap settings. Beyond this standard low drag solution, Aston Martin has implemented a notable performance enhancement. They've reworked the scoop shape at the front corners of the car, adjusting both the inlet and exit profiles. This redesign is complemented by an altered stay on the rear deflector, collectively aiming to refine the airflow around the tires, minimizing the aerodynamic disturbance further along the car's body and optimizing its overall performance. Williams is arriving in Jeddah with a much more tailored approach, introducing a circuit-specific beam wing designed to suit the high-speed nature of the track. They've trimmed the trailing edge, shortening the chord length, a direct method to diminish both downforce and drag on the rear wing assembly, aiming for an optimal drag level for the Saudi circuit. Red Bull's sister team, formerly racing under the name AlphaTauri, now carrying the VCARB 01 name, has the longest list of upgrades for this weekend. They've gone for a significant revamp to the top deck of the engine cover that aims to refine airflow towards the car's rear, enhancing performance. They've also introduced optional cooling louvers in this area to broaden the cooling range and boost airflow through the radiators. The team has also played with the front wing configuration, trimming the flap cord to adjust the aerodynamic balance in favor of a lower rear wing setup, thereby reducing front wing load. Additionally, a rear wing with less camber and incidence has been introduced to cut down drag. On the other hand, Haas, Stake, and Alpine are sticking with the same setups they competed with in Bahrain, opting not to introduce any new updates for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Last year's Saudi Arabian GP was incredible, with Sergio Perez clinching a memorable win, partly due to a qualifying hiccup for Max Verstappen and his own solid performance. For Ferrari, however, Jeddah last year was a weekend to forget. The limited aerodynamic load of the SF23 made it tough for Sainz and Leclerc, a factor that team principal Fred Vasseur has now identified as crucial over the weekend. Red Bull and Aston Martin emerged as the powerhouses in terms of aerodynamic efficiency, but with the direction of the developments for both Ferrari and McLaren, they are expected to be much more competitive in Jeddah this time around, and will hopefully be able to mount some pressure on Verstappen and his team. Aston Martin, meanwhile, is set to face stiff competition from Haas, Racing Bulls, Stake, and Williams for those crucial points. Jeddah's track with just 2 low-speed turns contrasts sharply with Bahrain's layout, focusing on high-speed agility and DRS efficiency, an area where Red Bull excelled last season. This year, Ferrari seems to have bridged the gap in DRS performance. Mercedes, McLaren and Aston Martin found themselves at a disadvantage in Bahrain regarding DRS efficiency. But for this weekend, with the strategic DRS detection zones set up for the race, the competition in the first sector is expected to be fierce, particularly between Red Bull and McLaren. Ferrari's performance in Bahrain does suggest that they might face some challenges in Jeddah due to the car's handling in quick directional changes. The second sector is likely to favour Red Bull, rewarding cars that excel in medium-speed corners. As for the final sector, Red Bull's superior DRS could give Verstappen and Perez an edge, especially in qualifying laps. This is also where Ferrari's new wing design could play a vital role. Mercedes, on the other hand, could see an improvement from Bahrain if they've managed to resolve their cooling issues. Teams will likely opt for setups with lower ground clearances due to Jeddah's track characteristics. The pecking order for the Saudi Arabian GP will start to become much clearer from the practice sessions on Thursday. For this year's Saudi Arabian GP, Pirelli is sticking to the middle range of their tyre compounds, choosing the C2s as the hards, C3s for the mediums and C4s as the softs. The circuit's smooth, low-abrasive asphalt traditionally makes this a one-stop race, with most teams likely switching from C3 to C2 tyres, the latter seeing minimal use in Bahrain. Tyre pressures are set to mirror those from the previous season, with a slight adjustment expected following the free practice sessions based on track conditions and team feedback. Given the nature of Jeddah's city circuit with its constrained runoff areas, the race carries an elevated risk of incidents. This increases the chances of the safety car being called up or even a red flag situation. City circuits are known for their rapidly changing track conditions, and Jeddah is no exception. This means the track will change quickly, affecting grip levels as the weekend progresses. Getting the timing right for the qualifying lap will be crucial, especially to maximize grip and navigate the potentially congested first sector effectively. Similar to Bahrain, the practice sessions in Jeddah will have varied conditions. FP1 and FP3 are scheduled during daylight, while FP2, qualifying, and the race itself will be held under the floodlights, introducing an additional layer of complexity to the team's setup and strategy considerations. So, are you excited for this weekend? Which team do you think looks the most promising ahead of the race? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with the latest F1 news.